Welcome to the Local Vibe podcast, unscripted, it's uncensored, the real deal straight up music talk. Please like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. This is dedicated to the local musicians of Denver, Colorado. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the show.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope everybody's doing well out there. Gosh, it feels like it's been forever, but I have been traveling around to a couple of different states for work. And my last podcast that I had was actually, we did it via mobile. I was in Margaritaville. I have to say that, Trevor.
There you go.
Not a bad place to be. It was over at the Lake of the Ozarks. Of course, it's a winter time. So, hopefully I can be back there again and go visit those guys again when it's nice and warm out. So, but anyways, I appreciate everybody subscribing to the channel. I appreciate all the followers and all the supporters out there of the Local Vibe Music. This is something that's, I've been really enjoying talking to local musicians, bringing in a lot of talent that we have here up and down the Front Range. And boy, oh boy, I tell you what, the schedule is getting full. Like people are calling and they're signing up for weekly podcasts. And now I'm actually starting to do double podcasts in 1 week just to be able to get everybody. So if you're, upcoming, you're on the list, just hang tight. We'll get you on the schedule. I promise you that. And we'll bring you in the studio and get you on the podcast. All right. So I appreciate that. And thanks for everybody for supporting this channel, Local Vibe. And again, if you could do me a favor, go to the YouTube and hit the like and subscribe. That's always something that sometimes can be easily missed. But if you do that, that just helps the channel grow. So I appreciate that very much. All right. All right. Well, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my guest tonight. And boy, oh boy, this guy, I've known him for quite some time now, not a whole lot, but I do know that we hit it off pretty good when I first met him because we were talking about music. And that's the one thing, of course, that's near and dear to my heart is music. So I would like to introduce Mr. Trevor Jones over here to my left-hand side. Trev.
What's up, Eddie?
Hey, man.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Good to have you. Good to have you on the show. And gosh, I was thinking the last time we were playing golf somewhere, right? I think it was Estes Park or something I was trying to play golf. Let me just rephrase that.
Hey, man, you got a good swing. Don't sandbag everybody out there.
Right.
Come on.
And I learned some things from you, so I appreciate that for sure, But yeah, man, it's great to have you. And Trevor Jones is local right here out of Denver, and we're gonna talk a lot about music today. Talk about kind of his background. He's got some great stories and a very unique background in terms of music. And then maybe even maybe you can play some tunes for us. What do you think about that?
Yeah, we'll get into some grooves.
Yeah, we'll hook the guitar up, and maybe you can talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you kind of grew up with. Some chord progressions, some riffs, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, love it.
Here at the Local Vibe, everything's unscripted, it's natural, unfiltered. And I tell you what, that's the best part about bringing people in is like, people are like, hey, do I have to get ready? I was like, no, I want you to come in. I want you to be natural. We're just going to talk about music.
I love it, man.
So that's the best thing. But yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, Trevor, I always start out with the question. And if you could maybe talk to the audience, and this is your camera over here, but sure. Just talk to the audience a little bit about your background. Like, how did you start in music as far back as you want to go? Tell us and the audience a little bit about your music career.
Yeah, gosh, man. So I grew up here in Denver, and, I took piano lessons when I was a kid. Okay. I don't want to say it was a forced activity from the parents, but, we did a lot of great stuff as kids that were highly suggested or recommended by the folks, right? So
yes.
One of those things was piano lessons. And, to be honest, I really thought I kind of sucked at piano. Like I couldn't really see the keys in a way that was visually available to me. I couldn't really read music that great. And so the first time I picked up a guitar, which I think was in middle school, I took to it, right? It's like your body, I think, is meant for certain activities.
Right.
Some people are born to be tennis players. Some people are born to be drummers, whatever. And guitar just happened to be that kind of, fit my physiology kind of. So, that was when I was 16 years old and didn't really, know much about music or the scene or, how to play in a band or how to even set a groove or anything like that. And what wound up happening is I went to New Orleans to college, and I went to Tulane University uptown.
Okay.
A lot of love for uptown New Orleans, right? We're gonna just do a little New Orleans shout out. Yeah, let's get the New Orleans applause going. Love it. Yeah, there we go. Love the air horn. And so being in New Orleans changed my life, right? What happened was Hurricane Katrina came through, which was devastating for the community in a lot of ways. We can dig into that, if we want to talk about that kind of scenario and what happened. But basically a lot of the Class A, Class B musicians left New Orleans, and again, I was probably kind of a pretty ignorant, dumb kid at that point. 18, 19 years old, showing up in New Orleans for the first time. I thought New Orleans had a beach. Before I moved there for college, I got like a it was the only place I got in out of state, and I got a little scholarship. So there I was as a kid, and so Katrina happened, and I was there just to put my hand up and say, hey, I'll do the gigs, and that changed my entire life, right? I mean, to be able to play with folks like George Porter Jr. on bass, cats that were in the meters, right? I mean, really heavy cats, heavy vibes, but accessible to that new musician just showing up on the scene. And that was incredibly powerful. And yeah, that has led to, I guess, what would be, 2 more decades of playing music in New Orleans and in Colorado and all over the country for a while there when I was, touring full time. Gotcha. So, yep.
Yeah, and I remember you had talked to me about that. It might have been when we were playing golf or something, and we were talking about. I don't remember how it came up, but briefly you had said, "Yeah, I was in New Orleans," and I think that's a great topic too. The thing is, as I bring musicians in, the really cool thing about bringing folks in is you get to learn about their backgrounds, right? Yeah. And I always say like, hey, you may go see this band or you may go see this artist at a show, coming up on the weekend or something like that, but you don't really necessarily know all the background and kind of where they came from, right? So I think by far that's very, very interesting to hear that. And so continue, man. So what was it like for you? Obviously, playing piano, and I play piano as well. I definitely can see how. And as well, you take the piano keys and you can place them on the fretboard of a guitar, right?
Sure.
So I started with your F, and that's how I transitioned really from playing keys to playing guitar. And so you can definitely transfer that, up to the guitar neck. And I always appreciated that for sure about the keys and the guitar and how they are very similar in terms of kind of where the location of the keys are at the notes. And then of course, for everybody else, once you get intrigued, then just to your point, right? It's like, when something fits you and when that connects with you, right?
Yeah, no, I'll just say, the guitar, we have our, our pentatonic scales, our box patterns, the kinds of things we tend to rely on when we're in a live setting or trying to improvise. That matches way more onto my, my cognitive perception of the world than a keyboard. I can play in middle C or I can play in G, but as soon as I start getting a bunch of sharps and flats involved, as soon as I try
to go crazy,
or try to really express myself, I don't have that under my fingers at all, like like maybe with the guitar. So yeah, it's interesting, right? I think it's important for musicians to explore a bunch of different instruments. Like you might be the best bagpipe player in the world, and you didn't know that before, you touched a bagpipe for what it's worth,
No, and that's good advice too, right? Again, if you don't try it, then you'll never really know exactly what what may be the most suitable instrument for you, right? And there's so many out there. So
yeah, it's like sports, right? It's like
we're
talking about golf. I'm not the best golfer, as you know.
Neither am I.
But there's people out there, the Tiger Woodses of the world that just pick it up, and obviously there's a lot of hard work and dedication, practice involved, but still figuring out your starting point, I think, could be maybe pretty important for people.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's some great advice, Trevor. I think if you don't know what it is, pick up the instrument. If you're thinking about it, you're like, one of these days I want to learn how to play drums. Go do it, You never know. You never know
go to Guitar Center and annoy the hell out of them when you drop in there and just go bang around on some drums or pick up the bass.
Go bang some drums.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
The sales guy will come over and, hey, can I help you?
Yeah, he's fine.
Definitely. All right, man. Awesome. Well, so Trevor, continue on that story. What was it like, being in New Orleans, especially looking for the music scene, right? Like, tell us a little bit about.
Where to even start there? So, as a college kid, we're living uptown on Maple Street in New Orleans with I think we had 5 other guys in the house. So times are crazy. We're sophomores in college or juniors in college, and there's the thing about New Orleans is there's dozens, if not hundreds, of gigs happening every single night. So you can go on the live wire shout out to WWOZ,
Nice.
one of the most excellent community-run radio stations in the country. So you go on WWOZ Livewire and you'll check out what's happening that night, and there's stuff uptown, downtown, mid city, wherever you happen to be in the city. There's going to be some music pretty much within a 5 or 10 minute drive, and so you're just bouncing around. We used to call it the adult bouncy castle. Those bouncy castles kids go on. We just used to bounce around the city, and we just would go seek out what was there, and then on a good night, I'd be invited to sit in. It's a very networked place. People, you would be surprised at how small of a city New Orleans is. You see the same folks all the time, which is fantastic, right? It quickly develops this fabric of a music scene, which a lot of cities, kind of struggle with or have it in fits and starts, but it's not really this dedicated, integrated situation. And so New Orleans is like that. And so if you're a player and you're willing to get out there, you can get on stage with some pretty heavy cats that you never thought you'd find yourself with. I could give shout outs all day to my favorite New Orleans artists. I'm sure we'll get into it. But it was just, networking and trying to get out there. And again, just because of the really unfortunate and devastating storm we had, which was really nasty for a lot of reasons, you look for the silver lining in that kind of situation. And that was a positive aspect, is just some of the access that was available. I wish Katrina never happened, but it was a part of my life that gave me the access to some of the folks that I went on to play with and form bands with. That kind of.
Yeah, and I was my gosh, I'll tell you what, there's a Netflix series out there, right? It's
I can't watch it. Yeah, I won't watch it.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yep.
I started watching it and I was like, my gosh, man, I couldn't finish seeing it. I was like, oh my God.
I cry at Geico ads and stuff, so I can't be watching I can't be watching that kind of stuff.
Geico ads.
Yeah, my wife knows that. I'm
nice.
Ball of tears over there.
Very cool. Nice. So Trev, so I'm picturing this, right? You're in New Orleans, you're playing music, and at that time you're playing guitar. Is that, what you're playing? Guitar?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Playing a Epiphone Les Paul at that time.
Oh, nice. There you go. Yeah, I like Epis. And so you're out there and essentially there's music going on like every restaurant / bar / what about breweries? Are breweries big out there?
Totally.
Too?
I mean, New Orleans has a great brewing scene. Abita Brewing's a great beer. If you need a NOLA beer, go get an Abita for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everywhere, right? The city is saturated with just tunes. I mean, all over the place, and it's everything you can imagine from, swing jazz, traditional swing jazz, just to really creative hip hop or other mediums that you just might not expect. I mean, it's a fantastically dynamic place, and I'm also a little bit worried about it because the population of New Orleans goes down over time. So it's like a national treasure we need to really respect and lift up and empower and probably fund as well too.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then so growing up, so obviously you went to college there, but and you grew up here in Colorado?
Yeah. Okay. We're in South Denver here, so not far from where I grew up, and it was beautiful, man. I mean, we had a lot of musicians. We had a very creative high school experience. Like, the theater program was great, the band was great, the choirs, which is actually probably a piece I missed there, which was I grew up singing too, classical music and learning to sing with the diaphragm and projecting and having proper posture and all that. That saved my butt in the music business too, because when we were on tour, I never lost my voice for whatever reason, which was a blessing when we were doing 200, 250 shows a year, right? So, we had a dynamic musical kind of thing going on over there.
Nice. And tell us a little bit about that. So you were on tour for what years was that you were doing that?
Yeah. Oh, you're going to make me do math, Eddie, which I am not good at.
Start thinking here.
Well, I'll do it I'll be 40 in March, from, basically 18 or I guess 21 when we graduated college to 29 or 30. So 10 years on the road. I have no idea how we paid rent. Probably because rent was cheaper. Rent was a little bit cheaper back then. So,
We're like, hey, did somebody remember to pay the rent?
Yeah. Hey, the first is coming up actually out there, guys. You got them.
Did I put my part in?
Yeah.
Nice. There you go. Well, very cool, man. Well, that's awesome. And then in terms of instruments that you played, I know you said you did a little bit of piano. So piano kind of early on, and then guitar. Anything else that you kind of get into? Or
yeah, so we were talking about Ableton earlier. Okay. We had this great kind of, I guess, movement or era in Denver music. I guess this would have been around 2010 perhaps, where you had a lot of electronic music that was getting really popular. Bands like Pretty Lights. I'm a big Washed Out fan. kind of more niche stuff. So I got really into Ableton, and then, that kind of opens you up to be able to loop stuff. So, I play drums for that loop, or play keys, or play bass. And I do have that stuff out there. I label that Trevor C. Jones. That's on Bandcamp and stuff. We could put the link out there and all that stuff. But I dabble, but nobody's paying me to show up with a keyboard or a drum set.
No, and that's just it, right? I mean, that opens up for, it opens up your creativity piece, right? And again, the thing about that I've been appreciating about talking to a lot of musicians here at this particular podcast, and I'm really enjoying this, is that everybody has some advice, right? And what I hear, the theme from everybody is like, hey, go try it. Like, go try it, right? Even if it's getting into electronic music and Ableton, whatever it may be, Ableton's a very powerful tool. Man,
find your groove, baby. You don't have to be a virtuoso. And I think in the age of Instagram and Facebook, you see these people out there, and they're at Berkeley Music Business College, or they're doing whatever. And it's like, you can find something a little more basic, something a little more visceral, something that moves you inside, and go from there. It doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah. No, and that's, I know you were telling, so Michael here, my production guy in the background. Let's give it up for Michael.
What's up, Michael?
Yo, what's up?
We were telling him, hey, man, and again, if you can get your hands on Ableton, right, it's very computer-based driven. You'll be in front of a computer, and you'll be running a software program. But there's so much you can do with that. You can spit out so much music. You know?
And it's accessible too, right? You could be a beginner and just kind of loop your groove and make a drum beat, and you have something nice there.
You're like, hey, I created this.
But you can also go, you can go produce a film score or whatever. It's German engineering there, so it's basically your BMW of digital audio workspaces, DAWs, right? So,
yes, for sure, man. No, exactly.
Sure.
And there's so many out there too that are competing, and I tell you what, I've worked with Ableton for many years, and it's great. It's a great program to use. They're always having some updates, and there's so many cool things you can do in there. Files and files of music. I mean, I have a few hard drives loaded with some stuff.
Oh yeah, at one point the band, which was called Frogs Gone Fishing, and still is, we had a side project, and we love the animal names, so we riffed on the SNL joke, and it was called Ape Tit. Was our side project. And let's go Ape Tit. I see you out there, Jeff Janai. It's my boy Jeff in Atlanta. So yeah, he was, he's the drummer in Frogs, but we were able to start a side project just because we could share files, right? We could, he can send files across the country. We can produce, and more of that production level, and then you can sprinkle in the instruments live as you wish too, right? That's the other cool thing about Ableton, is you might have a whole thing going on. You go over to the guitar and loop something, go over the keys and loop something, sing a little something, make the, affect that with some effects at the end, and then it's like a little orchestra at your fingertips.
That's right, man. Right at your fingertips, and the best thing is you don't have to leave your house. You can be right in front of a computer, on your chair.
Yeah, Ableton, if you're out there available for sponsorships, you got my Instagram handle right here. So just let me know.
Yes,
I'm here for you.
We'll put on a class if we have to. For sure, man. Well, that's awesome. All right. And then, Trevor, another question that I always like to ask too, and again, this is another one that I've been kind of appreciating from everybody, that, all genres, all ages, all different types of music, solo artists, original artists, even some cover bands, whatever, just people that are doing music in this town. Inspirations. Who were your inspirations kind of growing up that led you to play the music, or the type of music that you play today, or maybe even the style, right?
Yeah, man. So we can go deep on this one. I remember being in the back of my dad's car, my family car, cruising around Colorado as a kid, and listening to Led Zeppelin 2 on cassette. So I'm dating myself a little bit on that one, but man, that sounded good. And I think I wore that tape out. Like it wouldn't play anymore.
Spits it out after a while, just like
it does it. Yeah, the tape's going out, and you can't the toothpaste out of the tube. You can't put that tape back in there. So
that's right.
Yeah, man, that power, I think, of rock and roll really changed me when I was in my adolescent years, when I was starting to experience the world and what's out there. And you hear Led Zeppelin, you're just like, shit, man, that's something incredible. That's something I want to emulate. That's it sounds like the ocean or the mountains, or the it sounds like something natural and organic and powerful. So just trying to pick that apart, and still am, right? When I listen to a Led Zeppelin song, I'm still my mind's still trying to figure out how we even came to hear this, right? And in such a powerful way. But beyond that, going to New Orleans, that's going to be your funk influence, right? So Certainly, the Meters, which I think, frankly, the Meters are an underrated band. People talk about James Brown and Parliament Funkadelic mostly as the, kind of banner funk bands out there. But, the Meters are where it's at, baby. That's the soul and the groove and the kind of saturation of New Orleans that we were talking about earlier. So definitely. And then getting to play with those guys, right? That was the mind blower.
I gotcha.
But, I'm influenced just by a ton of different music. I went to India when I was 22 and took sitar lessons, just trying to understand that tonality and maybe that there's more than the 12 notes that are available to most of us at a given time on an instrument, right? So, I love hip hop. Tribe Called Quest is like one of my favorite bands.
Sweet.
I love heavy ass stuff like Tool. I love classical music. Miles Davis is so I think it's about vibe too. It's like, what are you doing in your functional part of your day, and how can music also kind of complement that? My wife, who's British, loves house music. I've learned about a ton of really fresh stuff coming out of London underground house that I would never have learned about if we were married. So, one awesome of many benefits of being married to her. So, I try not to be closed-minded. I think, I love Lady Gaga. We went to a Lady Gaga show in Chicago, and it was just rad. I was blown away by the production value and the message of inclusivity, which is super important right now.
Yes.
But just her ability to sing and just crush it up there. So, I just try to have open ears and just be a sponge, and just try to be.
No, and we've had that conversation, Trevor, a couple of times with some folks that I've brought in here, and one of the things that was I was telling the audience as we were talking about this is like, hey, go explore, right? Because again, it doesn't matter what genre it is. It could be hip hop, could be house, could be techno. Remember the techno stuff back in the day, right? And so it could be anything that sparks or creates that creativity in your brain to do something, right?
Sure.
And then you start putting those little pieces together of your inspirations and kind of maybe what you heard last week or what you heard last month. And you put those things together and you start creating a recipe for something that's on your mind, right? Something that you want to create.
Sure. It's what moves you too, right? We have a physical response to music, and whatever's giving you that dopamine hit, like that's trend towards that, whatever you put in the headphones and it starts making you do this, or, in funk, we have the stinky funk face where there's a groove that's just so good, you can't even handle it. So you got to make a little face. Nice. Yeah, man, that's think about how your body responds to music too.
That's right.
And how can it help you? Some of that Indian classical music has been like therapeutic for me too in my life. Just, if you're experiencing whatever, you put that stuff on and it slows things down, allows you to breathe a little bit, allows you to think about the beauty of life a little bit more, kind of does that thing. So, yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah. It's, I was talking to my wife earlier and it's funny because you mentioned that, like the faces for a long time. She was like, hey, why do you guys make that face when you're playing guitar? Like you're way up here and you have like
is that necessary?
This weird face. Do you have to do that? And I was like, honey, I don't know how to explain this.
Oh, I know, man. I know.
Like, it's just this vibe that you get and and the expressions come out. And so anyway, so then later she started seeing it more and more and she's watching this video and she's like, oh, I get it. Everybody does it. I'm like, yes, absolutely.
Well, yeah, man. There's rock and roll face. There's funk face. There's, I'm sure the jazz guys have a face. So.
Right.
But yeah, I think to the average observer, they're like, is that necessary? Can you just play it?
You tone it down just a little bit.
Can you just play it without doing the face stuff? Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. Was I doing it? I don't
that
know,
too, right? If you're lost in the moment. And we could talk about that too. Not to get too deep on it, but like, Carlos Santana talks about this kind of stuff, but if you're really feeling it, you're opening up a portal to something else, right? And you can call that spiritual, you call it whatever, but words, we don't have the vocabulary in English to actually describe what that happens to be. Right. Maybe there's a culture around the world that does have a word that would, I don't know, that'd be an interesting research project. But yeah, you can open up the third eye, maybe you could call it.
Yeah.
Just something connecting us to whatever the organizational force is that allows for this amazing beauty that we have on Earth. And I think music is to me, the best art form for that. Yes. I'm sure people find that in painting or sculpture or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Music's the one, yeah.
Yes, for sure. And, those painters, as they're painting, they're probably listening to music at the same time, whatever it may be, classical, jazz.
Yeah. So then you're talking about mixed media too, and that's so powerful, right? I think we've all experienced the power of a good light show or some, I'll go back to Gaga, she had pyrotechnics, costume change every 15 minutes. I mean,
Isn't that something, right? Yeah.
dude, it's it's real. That affects people on a serious level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I've never been to a Gaga concert, but of course I've seen tons of her videos and I've always wanted to, and I'm going to one of these days, but I could just imagine the power that comes off of that stage that, of course she puts on, and from the slow stuff to the heavy stuff to the, poppy stuff, all of it.
Yeah, man.
It's just that perfect example of where music could go and where it could take you, to all different places.
Yeah. It's multi-potentiate, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So what current bands are you playing with now? And I know you had talked about maybe one or two you had told me, but let's talk to the audience here. And Michael, maybe we can bring up on the Facebook or Instagram, but what is one band that you're kind of currently playing with?
Sure. So Frogs Gone Fishing is the mothership band. That's the one we've been doing for 25 years at this point, 20 years at this point. We're spread out all over the country. So we're in New Orleans and Atlanta, but we get a chance to play probably 5 or 10 times a year. And
Okay.
those are my homies, man. Those are my deep buddies.
Nice.
Andrew Portwood, shout out Andrew Portwood. He just had a kid, man. Like, we've known each other since we were 16 years old. So
Wow.
this deep friendship, deep stuff. Again, we get to play 5 or 10 times a year, but that's special. On a more regular basis, we do the Trevor Jones Band.
Okay.
So not too creatively titled there. Didn't think too long about the.
And you have there's an Instagram that's up here, right?
Yeah, Trevor.c.jones on Instagram. So, we got a bunch of good stuff on there.
Nice.
Got
I see
some New
some
Orleans.
horns. Yeah.
Some New Orleans homies on there. We got my grandma, R.I.P. Ann. She was a funky lady, man. You want to talk about where your inspiration comes from?
Yeah.
Both of my grandmas were creative as hell. Like, my mom's mom painted so much stuff. My dad's mom was the president of the Austin Civic Chorus. So you want to talk about high-powered choir stuff too, right? So,
Wow.
so I got some respect for the grandmas on there.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
man,
and
it's
so a lot
memories.
of these pictures are on your Instagram, right? That you have.
I do Instagram. Then, I think Bandcamp is where I keep a lot of the Trevor C. Jones electronic stuff as well. So,
Okay.
So between Frogs, Trevor Jones Band, and keeping something fresh on the electronic side, that's pretty much it. But
Yep.
a couple other bands. I mean, playing with Miles Lee at Burn Down, coming up on February 7th. So we love Miles, killer harmonica player. Would love to hook you guys up. I think it'd be great on the podcast.
Cool. Yeah.
And what else? The Sesh, man. I play with the Sesh, which is a funky band based in the mountains as well. That's my boy Christian Bosso. Shout out Christian as well. I'm lucky. I get to pick my battles a little bit these days. I don't have to play 250 gigs a year
Right.
as much anymore, which I love those days and wouldn't give that up for anything. But man, we're out here.
Yeah, and you're busy, right? I mean, Trevor, you also have your own company, right? That you've created.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a founder and CEO of a company that sells sustainability software to industry. That's
Yeah, and I think
Takes
that's how we met,
time.
right? That's how we met, because
absolutely.
yeah, something in the mining side. So yeah,
Yep.
great program that he's got as well. And I'll put a bunch of links here once we're done with the podcast up on the video, and that's why typically I ask about kind of those different websites. But if we wanted to look for some of your music, you mentioned another website. What is that called?
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. All right, Michael, bring that up real quick and see if we could find it.
Bandcamp's cool. Maybe search Trevor C. Jones on Bandcamp. I would definitely recommend Bandcamp to a lot of musicians out there. It's a free place to host your music.
Oh, okay.
But it's got a lot of other tools on there, right? So you can put an album cover on there. You can do artwork. That's distribution as well. Also recommend all the musicians figure out how to monetize that
Right.
kind of side of things and
Sure.
become a registered artist at BMI or pick your performance rights organization in Nashville.
I used let's see, what did I use? I used CD Baby for
Yep.
one that I uploaded on there. It was an original that we created, but I hadn't heard of this one. That's why I was curious. But okay, so here it is. So this is Bandcamp.
Yeah, there we go. We got 5 different solo albums as well. So, man, I miss that little. I don't know if you can scroll up, Michael, but yeah, that synthesizer, man, I miss that little Korg. That thing was.
Oh, is that right? Nice.
That thing was the shit. Yeah, that was cool. But
Some of the oldest synths, like back in the day, right, are some of the have the coolest sounds.
I mean, if I had
Yeah.
all the time and the money, I think I'd have a beautiful studio like you have, by the way, just filled with keyboards, old synths.
Yeah,
And
that Roland I have over there,
Yeah.
man, that thing's got some crazy sounds that they imported from a lot of the old school Roland synths, and they put it. That's the FA08 to the 88 key, but they uploaded a lot from multiple different keys and synths, and they downloaded on that, so it's right there.
Yeah, man,
It's really cool. Man,
yeah.
And I love keys too, man. And sometimes I'll just, my wife could tell you, I'll just lose myself in keys down here, and then I'll jump on guitar, and then I'm like, okay, what am I playing next?
Does she ever come down and it's like, hey, Eddie, it's time for dinner, man. We got to go upstairs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's music. Shout out to Eddie's wife.
That's right. Thank you, honey. Thank you for supporting us. Oh my God, awesome. All right. Well, I'll also put a link on the YouTube description as well for Bandcamp for musicians out there that are maybe looking for a place to go, and so you can there's another good resource for you to find and upload some stuff. So. All right, awesome. Well, Trev, what I want to do right now is I want to talk a little bit about my sponsors real quick when I get a few minutes, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more
man. Sounds great.
about some of your projects and stuff like that. And I know you're doing a lot of other stuff as well. But I want to play this video real quick. This is one of my sponsors here that is local to the area, and this is Event and Transport LLC. Let's play that, Michael. All right. So this is Event and Airport Transportation LLC, www.lemolimo.limo. And you can give Ernesto a call, tell him that Fast Eddie sent you, and he's going to hook you up with some rides. He's got some beautiful vehicles. He's got some vans, some Audis, and some SUVs. And I tell you what, this guy's busy, so you got to get on his schedule to be sure that you can get to get a ride. But he does all kinds of really cool stuff here. If you're traveling to the mountains for ski season to get up there, and that's pretty hectic, you can give him a call there. He can take you up there. Also does Red Rocks and a little bit of tailgating for people if you want to get up to Red Rocks to watch a concert, do some tailgating. Maybe you don't have to worry about, driving or parking or any of that stuff. Give him a call. He'll take you up there and bring you back safely. And that's always a good thing too, right? To be sure you're safe. And so also 720-699-1575, Event and Airport Transportation LLC. Thank you, Ernesto. All right, and then another sponsor that I have that I also want to talk about is one of my newer sponsors. Let's go to that page, Michael. And this is K4CO Radio. They are a local radio station right here in the Mile High City, based out of Centennial, Colorado. And these guys are also doing some great things, do a lot of work and support with local businesses and nonprofits. And these guys are local to the area as well. We're going to be working together. And I'm actually going to be coming to their studio here in a couple of weeks, and we're going to be doing an interview there also live, and we're going to broadcast that and put those on all the socials. But definitely go check it out. It's K4CO Radio. They play all kinds of music. One of those things that I was looking at, it's like from the 40s all the way to current stuff. And again, jazz and rock and heavy metal and, different kinds of genres that they are supporting and that they play up here. And again, right here, local to the Denver Centennial area. So again, appreciate it, K4CO Radio. Thank you very much. Yeah. All right, cool, man. And I'm always looking to grow this channel. So again, if anybody knows anybody that wants to help support the Local Vibe podcast, by all means, send them my way. If you want to, get somebody up on the studio as well on the calendar, we can do that. Get them on the calendar. And we'll get them up here and talk to them. And again, straight up music talk. Nothing scripted. Everything's from the heart. Whatever we say here is what we say, So, so Trevor, I definitely want to spend some time as well talking a little bit about some other things that you're doing. And I know, being local to the Denver area, you are supporting some local politics as well, right? So, can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, happy to, man. I'm actually running to be your state representative in House District 5.
Yes, sir. Let's do a big shout out for that one.
Let's go.
You definitely got to check it out. Check out his socials. He's got a lot of information on there. All right, go ahead.
So House District 5 is one of our, it's the beating heart of Denver. It includes our universities, includes a lot of our creative districts like Rhino,
nice.
of course, where a lot of our awesome clubs are.
Yep.
a lot of our small businesses, and obviously the fantastic people that live there. And so, yeah, I've thrown my hat in the ring to go ahead and run, and it's an interesting process, man. You learn a lot. You learn about the mechanics, how politics work. You learn about the local issues. And I don't think this is a place to get into the actual platform stuff. We'll give people a link to the website. But one note that is relevant, I think, is, government needs to support local art, right? Local musicians.
Yes.
We have a fantastic community here that can provide a vibrant fabric of our culture, but also, people come to Denver to check out, Red Rocks is like the most famous venue in the Western Hemisphere, if not on Earth, right?
That's correct.
So people look to Colorado for that vibe, and we want to make sure that we don't lose our shine. We don't lose our sheen as a city and as a state on the artistic level too. So
Gotcha.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Awesome, man. Yeah, and I'll definitely put some, descriptions, and if you have a couple of links that you could send me, I'll put that up on the description on the YouTube as well, so that way people can go check it out and get involved, right?
Just get involved. That's what it is, right? Just figure out who your local precinct organizer is. Link up with them, go grab coffee, just understand, a little bit of the process and what's at stake here. I think that's great advice.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
No, and I'm sure it's a great learning point, for you as well. Just like you said, you're kind of learning that side of things as well. And the Rhino District is so awesome, man. I love the
come
Rhino.
on, man.
Oh,
we used to play there again, going back to the original part of the conversation, but when we're 18, 16, 17 years old, going down to Rhino, totally different vibe than what we have now, right? I mean, this is one of the most dynamic arts districts in the Western United States. Like this should be celebrated. We got to get out there and go check out a local band or local artist or a local art gallery for that matter. Shout out to Santa Fe's, First Fridays as well.
Nice.
Get out there. That's a great event to just go check out some local Denver art too. So
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of one of my favorite breweries at Ratio Brewing. Oh my God. Right. Whew,
yeah.
Talk
Man.
about some good beer.
Too good.
Too good.
Too good.
Yeah, very, very good. Walnut Rooms down there, right?
Oh yeah, we had our launch party for the campaign at Walnut Rooms. So,
yeah. I think I saw that.
I played a bunch of music, there back in the day as well. They
Nice.
used to have jazz. I think they won best sounding venue. At
is that right?
And Denver, in their history. So
Yeah,
it's a good spot.
well, very cool, man. Well,
Yeah, man.
let's get into a little bit of the music. And I know what if you want to play some guitar, maybe we can talk a little bit about some of the things that you're doing. Michael, you want to hand that guitar to him over there, and then we'll kind of adjust the camera a little bit, and we'll be sure we get you on there. And
Yeah, do we want to do an amp? Or I don't know.
yeah, I think you should be. That wire should be already hooked up. So let's give us a minute here. We'll get you hooked up here with this guitar, and then we'll adjust the camera.
Cool. It's gonna make a little noise here when we play.
Yeah, it's all right. You're all good. All right. Yeah. And then,
This is a cool axe, man. What am I holding here?
yeah, that is one of my newest. Actually, my wife bought me that for Christmas. Yes, sir. And that is an LTD.
Okay.
And it is, I want to say it's the deluxe version. So it's single coil. It's got push and pull down at the bottom. So you can single coil or humbuckers.
Oh. Got it.
So it's a sweet guitar. Hopefully, I'm gonna gig with that. As a matter of fact, this weekend I will be at the Colorado Motorcycle Expo. We're doing a battle of the bands there
Badass.
on
Dude.
Sunday, man. So that baby's going down
that
there.
Sounds fun.
All right. All right. Well, let's man, talk to us a little bit about, really just anything you want to play, and maybe we talk about some riffs or kind of like your style a little bit, or
Yeah, we could talk about that New Orleans kind of
there you go.
we call it a chank, right? You have a bit of a heavy right hand, and you're gonna keep it on the one, right?
Okay.
So, you might just keep a little funk groove going in A, and just you're gonna keep it on that. One, right? That's what Bootsy Collins said, right? You keep it on the one, right? So you're gonna keep it.
Gotcha. Man, do that again. I'm gonna watch you.
You can break it down too.
Yeah, you can slow it down.
It's nice, man.
Wow.
It's a nice little axe.
Yeah.
It's smooth.
Very cool. Yeah, and again, for me, it's, man, I always have my learning hat on, no matter what. You know, if I'm working, if I'm playing
Sure.
music, I'm always open to new stuff. You know, that's
Yeah,
one
big
thing
time.
I've always loved. Well, that's awesome, man. And so yeah, I can definitely see that. And then with the bass line and maybe a little bit of drums, you can
Sure.
even throw some like an organ type key, maybe. Would
Oh
you?
yeah.
Okay.
I love
yeah.
a B3 organ. I think
Nice.
that's nice. I love the triumvirate of a B3 organ, a clavinet,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know,
No clav.
and a little Wurlitzer, right? It's gonna be your third one just to chill it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we could talk about some other type of groove. I mean,
Yeah.
the clave, which comes from typically, nobody quote me here, but from Cuban music, right? It's more of a Caribbean groove. You're gonna have that 3/4 pattern overlaid on that more 4/4 type groove that I just played. So one of my favorite songs, "Hey Pocky Way," we're talking meter song here.
Okay.
It's gonna have that 1 2 3 1 2 groove, right? So you got 1 2 3 1 2, right? That's super common in New Orleans, right? And it gives it more like a playful kind of vibe too, that's your clave groove. And you might sprinkle a little, something like that. So you can play with that, right? And I mean, literally when you're in New Orleans, you can just feel that street beat, which is what it would be called. And it's on the drums too. Right? That,
Yeah. Okay.
and it's like one of these things, it's like architecture, right? As soon as you start thinking about this individual element, like if you start thinking about columns or, the plants, right? Like it's an individual element that if you break down what's happening with that, you'll find it in not every single, but many, many, many tunes that are coming out of that
Yeah.
kind of groove. So, and you can translate that into a lot of Latin rhythms as well. You can reverse that clave as well. So you can have a 1 2 1 2 3 or 1 2 3 1 2. You can do it different ways, but that's a huge. That was a huge learning, just like that.
Right.
And you hear the drums in the parades too. So Mardi Gras, you have these awesome parades, and folks are playing that all the time. Yeah, that's if you listen for that.
So it's just separating that 4 beat, right? If you're depending on how you want to lay it out. Yeah.
Totally right. I mean, it's like there's a swing element to it as well, and there's different variations, right? You can get super deep on that to your rumbas and your
Sure.
There's some deep grooves that you can, but it's all based on that pillar, right? It's on that column. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Okay.
For
Cool.
sure. Yeah.
Awesome, man. All right. And what else? What else you got, man? Play something else. Whatever you. I'm enjoying it.
Oh, what else, man? What else can we say tonally? So we can talk about Indian music a little bit too.
Okay. Yeah.
For whatever reason, there's a powerful concept in music, which is this drone, this kind of pedal drone concept, right? Which is, you're playing a single string, but then intonating above that drone. So you might have. That to me feels deep, deep and powerful, like that kind of, that raised 1 and that raised 3. And, you got your classic. Right, so there's a lot baked into that, having that pedal tone, as they would call it. In theory, underneath that. Just always love that kind of sound, right? For the guitar players out there, that works in E, A, and D, right? You can have that pedal tone going on your E string, on your A string, or your D string.
Ah, gotcha.
Right? So. Cool axe too, man.
Right? Yeah, shout out to the wife, man. She bought that for me for Christmas.
There you go. That's
she surprised the heck out of me. Not like I needed any more guitars, but you can never have enough guitars.
Yeah, you got some nice intonation way up here, right? She's in tune.
Yes,
She's
she
in
is.
tune, y'all.
She's in chat right now saying, "Thank you, Trevor, for breaking in that guitar for the hubby."
Oh yeah, there you go. She just asked me that the other day. She's like,
Here, I'll give you this back.
she's gonna hand you this, Michael. Grab the guitar. Yeah, she just asked me that the other day. She's like, "Hey, I haven't actually seen you play your guitar yet." I was like, "What?" And she's like, "I haven't seen you." I was like, "What?" I can't hear myself because I was playing so loud downstairs. That guitar. So I was like, "Oh no, I broke it in." Oh, how funny! But yeah, I mean,
smooth, man. That's smooth. Yeah, smooth
yeah,
action.
it's so
on there.
cool. And that one behind you, that's another one of my favorites. That is a Reverend, and it's a signature Greg Cox series that I bought from Wildwood Guitars. Shout out to Wildwood Guitars.
There you go.
They have some really cool stuff. And it's a little bit bigger than your average Telecaster, so it's about 3% larger because Greg Koch is a very big dude. Like he's a very tall guy.
Back to our conversation about physiology and
Yes.
your body, right? Like
That's right.
Some dudes just need a bigger.
That's right.
Right.
And that's where that one came from. They made it a little bit bigger than the traditional Telecaster. But I still enjoy it. I enjoy the heck out of it. And it's got P90, so that thing just screams, man. It screams. Right now with the band that I play with, I don't play that particular one a whole lot anymore. We were doing some country a while back, and I would play it with that. But again, it's a very versatile guitar. It's got a Bigsby on it. And then it's got a couple of switches for like a little extra boost, like it's got a little boost button on it.
So you mentioned country. I don't want to flip the script here, but
No, that's fine.
is it what's the groove that speaks to Fast Eddie, in the deepest way?
Yeah, for me, it's rock. For me, always it's for me it's rock. I mean, I grew up in South Texas, which is kind of a very weird background, but I grew up playing Tejano music.
Yeah.
And Tejano music is basically a mix of country and Spanish together.
Of course.
And on the 2-beat, and I grew up playing that, and it started playing drums. But then, also grew up in the 90s. So I was around with, Pearl Jam and Nirvana and, all the 90s kind of grunge stuff. And, but for me, and I love the classic stuff too. I mean, I've always loved the classic, and that's the question that I always ask everybody. It's like, okay, Zeppelin, Stones, the Beatles.
Yeah.
Who do you pick? It's like.
Yeah, but let's talk about the Tejano stuff. I mean,
Yes.
that's rich music culture in Texas,
Yes.
period, right?
Yes.
Texas could be its own country in terms of music.
That's
and
right.
its
That's
own
right.
culture,
Yes.
but that's fast music, right? I mean, that's
Yep.
right. I mean,
Exactly.
So, yeah,
Yes.
and so you got to be on your toes.
You got to be on your
feet a little
toes
bit when you're playing that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. And then they use a lot of bajo quintos, so they use 10 strings,
Okay.
10-string guitars that are tuned very differently as well.
Really?
They use accordion.
Sure.
And then drums, bass, guitar, But I grew up kind of playing that, which for me has really helped with timing over the years, and I played gigs. I mean, I played some drum gig last weekend. I was playing drums and, I warmed up, for a couple of weeks prior. And what I do is I go back and listen to my Tejano music.
Yeah.
That's how I warm up.
Yeah, get back to the roots.
Get back in the timing and did fine. So, but yeah, mainly I play guitar right now with the group that I'm in. It's Iron Philly. So shout out to Iron Philly out there. Yeah.
Let's go.
And we're gonna be at the Battle of the Bands this Sunday, and maybe we'll take the.
Oh, go
take
get
the
it,
win,
man. Let's go. Championship mindset here. Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna get it.
Let's go.
But so for me, it's always been, and again, I love all kinds of music too, and I'm always a big fan of that. Is kind of diving into different genres. But for me, the rock stuff is really cool. Just being able to play, and we play right now. We switch back and forth. We have 2 guitar players. Derek is our lead guitar player. I'm the rhythm guitar player. But we switch back and forth.
Sure.
Where I'll do some leads on some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
As you can tell, I'm a big Cure fan. And all the Cure music that we play, I usually play the leads in that, right? And so we'll switch back and forth, which is awesome to be able to do because it gives you a little bit of,
Well, I think
both
it's more
sides.
enjoyable for the audience where they don't know where the solo's coming
Right,
from.
you're like, wait,
right?
who's the guy that's? I thought it was that guy.
And then the best is harmony between.
Yes.
If you guys can nail some that's nice to hear.
Yeah, man, for sure. So that's cool. Yeah, awesome. All right, cool, man. Well, I appreciate that, and definitely appreciate you picking up the guitar and
it was fun, man.
playing a few tunes, as
It's a
well.
smooth axe. Yeah.
Another question that I always have for everybody before we kind of wrap up the show here is like, what kind of words of inspiration or advice would you be able to give, coming from your experience, kind of where you grew up, the music that you play right now, And again, you mentioned some very unique bands that you play with. But what kind of advice could you give somebody who maybe is just starting out in music, or maybe is listening to the podcast saying, "Man, I want to be able to do that. I want to play music," whatever it may be. What kind of advice could you give them from your side?
Yeah, I would say, it's our relationship with time. And what I mean by that is, you might have a band for a year or 2 years and you might get frustrated because, you're still making $100 a head, playing at the local pub, whatever it happens to be. That's a small time horizon, right? You got to think, if you're really going to think about it, you got to think 5 or 10 years. I mean, you got to take that time to build something meaningful, build up the relationships, find a band, a good set of personnel that can link up with you and make it happen, right? So don't get frustrated. We live in a time of the AI algorithm on Instagram, and so
Sure.
You might see other people that achieve some success here and there, and you get discouraged. Like, please try to not do that. Find your groove, and if you're authentic and it's and it's funky or it's swinging or whatever or if it's hitting hard on the rock side, whatever your groove is, just keep putting that out, refine it, and also, trust your ear, right? My ear is not the same now than when I was 18 years old. And so that's going to evolve, and your taste and what you think is good is going to get a lot more refined. Like what I thought was good or excellent when I was 18 is way different than the standard I would have now, right? And that's always going to change. And so, yeah, be plastic, be like the reeds in the wind, right? Bend, not break, and keep going. It takes a lot of grit. It's not easy. Wages in music haven't changed since like the 80s.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, just go make it happen, man. Find the people that you groove with, and whatever your genre is, just go out and do it. And make a little money in the process. But if you're making people dance and you make people smile, the money will follow.
That's right.
That's the other thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like focus on,
and that's really how we, with the band that we play, we have a great group, great group of musicians, and we're pretty tight. But we've been, kind of focusing on high energy, getting people on the dance floor, and people have a great time. They're smiling, they're dancing. They're going out there for the weekend for whatever reason. Maybe, they're going through some bad times. Maybe they're celebrating something, whatever. Everybody's got different reasons when they're there, and they want to have a good time. They want to relax, and we're trying to be able to provide that for the audience.
Yeah, you have no idea how that might affect someone, right? I mean, music is it's going to change some of the neurotransmitter activity in your brain, right? So if you had that bad day at work, going through a breakup,
whatever it may be, right?
Yeah, and I've had people say that not so often, but every couple of years somebody will say, I was going through this and this particular concert at this date, which, I may or may not remember very well that interaction, this changed, my attitude or my aspect or my aperture on life. And that's what music's for, baby. And that's what's art. It's not just music. That's what art is for, right? That's the purpose and why you got to make sure that we preserve art in schools and society. This is a valuable activity, especially when AI is coming out, right?
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, we got to protect against that human organic creation process.
That's right. Yeah. No, that's for sure. Yep. And then Trev, one last question here. In terms of, trying to, and I might have mentioned this to you earlier too, as you were coming to the studio, but I've been kind of in a position now where I'm really thinking about, okay, kind of what's next musically, right? And evolving, because, I've been with this band for the last couple of years and evolving, what can we do different? And, I started thinking about, playing originals, right? And I know you've definitely played some originals. You have some experience. What kind of advice could you give, any band out there that is maybe thinking about taking it to the next level, stepping up and maybe starting to create some originals? And then how do you slide that in? Because again, it's not about, hey, were people going to like this song, or if I'm going to write this song, are people going to like it, or should I be worried about that? But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, who cares who likes it, right? If it moves you and it moves, your circle and the people around you, like that's the most important part. I think song craft is important to learn, right? What is an ABC form, right? Where does a bridge come in?
Sure.
I mean, the best songs ever, most, well-received and profitable songs ever have bridges that are, maybe 4 seconds long or 4 bars long, but it's where that hits, right?
So it's the bridges.
Yeah, so think about timing and songcraft too, as well. And then also just be prolific, right? Like there's no bad ideas. Think of 50 ideas and 4 or 5 of those are going to be fantastic, and don't you never know where that, discarded riff is going to show up later on as a piece in the puzzle in the same key that you're writing the song into. So, yeah, be prolific, be fearless, and screw what anybody thinks, man. Let's just get out there and play it.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm with you 100%. Yeah, I'm kind of that way, thinking like, hey, for me, it's more about let's get together, let's write some music, let's talk about the intro, let's talk about the chorus, let's talk about that bridge, the closing, the stops. Let's do some stops. Let's talk about bringing in a bass line riff, bringing in a little lead, and bringing in this piece and that piece.
Yeah,
and,
one thing.
drums
So
doing this.
on that point, one thing I'll say that's underrated is a feature, right? Oftentimes, I don't see younger bands just give the guitar player 2 minutes, give the drummer 2 minutes. Give the singer.
Let's see what happens, right?
So you're breaking it down. We're not all trying as hard as we can all the time to influence what's happening with the groove. We're sharing it and letting other people get their shine on.
Gotcha.
Which would be a New Orleans term, right? Go get your shine on.
Get your shine on.
Yeah. So I like features, right? And it's more theatric too, right? You got the spotlight coming down on one person. They forget that the rest of the band is there.
Right.
And then when the rest of the band comes in, boom, you're back in the experience. So
back in it.
Yeah. Give people some love on the features.
Yeah, turn around and say, okay, your turn now. Your turn.
Yeah, of course. That's a jam. That's some jam band concept right there.
That's
too,
right,
but
man.
make it a little theatric, Lady Gaga style.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I had a buddy of mine that was a bass player, and we would all do solos. We were like, all right, the bass player solo. This is the part where he doesn't like to play the bass solo, so we're gonna talk over it.
Yeah, right.
He'd just be like,
creative too, right? I mean. Look, one of our favorite bands right now is Amel and the Sniffers. Fantastic punk band from Australia. And there's sections of the show where, it's not about being shiny and showing off the best solo that you could ever play. It's more of a conversational aspect. And yeah, you might have some other, aleatoric whispering over the bass player, doesn't matter. Get creative. Go out there and show us something different that we've never seen. Right?
Sure.
There's a lot of opportunity with that.
Absolutely.
With other genres, Ableton, like we're talking about,
show
me something different.
What can you do with it? Yeah, how can you play it different? And just show it off, right? Who cares what people think? It's just about, and I think for me, it progresses the band too, right? Because you start to learn everybody's creativity and what's on their mind, what's on your mind. What are you thinking? It's
trust too, right?
Yes.
It's if you're going to go play that solo, you're going to go nail it. And you got to empower that, in a business setting or any family setting or any other area where you got to develop a little trust for that person to go out and make it happen on your behalf. And then when you come back in, boom, it's all good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet, man. All right. Well, awesome. Well, yeah, we're getting ready to wrap up the show here. And then one last question, Trevor. What is one of your most favorite concerts that you've ever attended? I love to talk about this as well because, and again, we're very spoiled here in Colorado. We have Red Rocks. And for those of you listening, I have a lot of people that are listening in Texas that have never been to a Red Rocks concert. You have to do that, right? It's on you got to put it on your to-do list. But what was one of your best concerts that you ever remember enjoying?
Wow, this is actually a very difficult question.
And maybe there's too many, right, to mention. You're like, well,
I'm going to mention a few, right? So, Real Big Fish, if you remember that ska band.
Okay, yes, I do.
That was my first concert when I was 14 years old,
Wow.
Away from the parents, understanding what that means to be in that environment, as a observer of music.
Sure.
But, I was a big Fish and Grateful Dead fan too as well. R.I.P. Bob Weir. We should frankly toast to Bob Weir's contribution to American music. And so, I remember going to Fish shows as a kid and really having my mind blown that a guitar could be played like that. Just what am I looking at right now? This is nuts. Mm-hmm. I'll give it one final one, which was watching Radiohead at Bonnaroo.
Ooh, oh my God. Neil, right? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
We were, how do we say, cognitively focused that night. And it was just amazing. It's just seeing the artistry and frankly, the love and just the harmony of a crowd of, whatever it was, 80,000 people, 90,000 people. How nice is that, especially in our current climate, to just have 90,000 people just vibing, getting along together? That's what we should seek as a society. So I could go on that list. That's
nice.
a really good question.
Nice, thanks, man. Yeah. And speaking of Radiohead, I remember seeing a tribute to Radiohead. Actually, I got to play with these guys. There was a bar downtown on Colfax a few years back, and anyways, they were putting together a Radiohead tribute. And I mean, they did a great job. The guy looked a lot like him too.
Yeah, sure.
And he got
singing Tom York is
yes, exactly right. He got to the point where, I mean, again, they were paying attention to detail. He would put this guitar down and mess with his pedals to get the,
Oh yeah,
you know.
I can't
the
imagine
end of the
putting
song.
that show together.
Yeah.
Every single Radiohead song is different, right?
Yes.
Like it's the instrumentation's different in every single
Yeah.
one. So yeah, that would be
Yeah,
that's really really tough.
yeah, that's cool. But
Impressive.
well, awesome, man. Well, I appreciate it, Trevor. So thank you for coming out, to the studio and, spending some time here with the local vibe. And again, I know you have some people that you like to get here. By all means, send them this way, man. We'll put together a jam session. We'll record it. We'll put it on YouTube. People are really enjoying the music parts of it too, So thank you for playing
That's excellent.
and breaking in that guitar for me as well. But
Veronica also has another question. How many guitars does Trevor own?
oh, there you go. How many guitars does Trevor have?
That's a really good question. I own 2 guitars, so
Okay.
which is I realize an unusual answer, but I bought my PRS when I was 18, and I've never really looked back from Paul Reed Smith.
Nice.
It's like if you're driving a Ferrari, why would you go get something else, right? So that's my favorite. That's my baby. That's my
Nice.
life there. And I have an Epiphone acoustic that I play, solo gigs with when those come around. So, yeah, I don't need a bunch of cars in the garage. I do want to know how to drive them well, though.
Nice. Very cool, man. Well, awesome, man. Well, let's, I appreciate it, Trevor. Thank you for coming out to the show and being here. And again, those of you that are out there supporting this channel, I really appreciate that. And really appreciate all your support. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's definitely going to help just grow the channel as well. And I got a couple of dates up here that we got, some podcasts coming up on Thursday, February 5th, Los Mocachetes.
Oh, those guys are effing awesome.
Yeah,
I
I've
love
heard-
that band, man.
I've heard
Talk
it.
about some Denver
Right.
grooves. That's awesome.
I've heard a lot of stuff about them, so I'm really excited to see. We might have a few of them, or maybe the whole band. I'm not sure, but they're going to be here rocking out. We're definitely going to have a live performance, so you want to definitely tune into that. And really excited to see those guys in here and talk about their backgrounds as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then Friday, February 13th, solo artist, musician, also local to the area. His name is Mark Stein. And he's going to be here as well and also playing. He plays guitar and plays a couple other instruments. He's going to be doing some live performances here on the show as well. And he'll be here playing some of his new stuff. And again, I'm getting a lot of people coming in. And then on February 12th, I'm actually going to be at the Angry Clover here local in Aurora. And I'm going to be doing a Flash Jam. I had earlier on, I had Jim Lee, which is the founder of Flash Jam. He was on one of my podcasts. And I did tell him, Jim, I'm going to go back to Flash Jam and play a couple of songs or whatever. So I'll be there on the 12th, performing there at the Angry Clover, doing some Flash Jam stuff. And I might be talking to some other folks as well. And then, of course, if you're around for the Motorcycle Expo this weekend, 2-1-26 Battle of the Bands on Sunday. And actually, the band I play with, Iron Philly, is going to be there. We're going to be taking the stage at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So if you're in the area, go check it out. A lot of great motorcycles.
Let's get a win.
All right. And we're going to be going for the win, man. So come
let's
out,
win.
support local music as well. All right. Well, appreciate it. Again, thank you, everybody, for joining and for signing on the channel. Trev, let's wave back to everybody. Hope everybody has a great weekend. And we will see you next time with Fast City at the Local Vibe. Thank you very much.